Hello. Hello. Oh man, I really wanted to start about half an hour earlier, but it wasn't meant to be. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, we'll see. I'll try again tomorrow. Like it should be like, it should be possible. We'll see though. It should be possible. Yeah. Anyway, hope you all had a great day thus far, nonetheless, despite the half hour delay. Damn. Anyway, let me just quickly adjust audio and check, and then we can start. All right. Okay. So, I think I took some notes yesterday, right? And then after the stream, as you can probably tell by what's on the most recent here, I was like seriously wondering why the hell I was acting as though I haven't tried to move on from, a sketch to a render. Like, this is that very attempt, no? Week 1 that I corrected to look this way, I think week 2? No, maybe week 4 actually. So 3 weeks ago at this point. It's like I mean, it's not the greatest, by all means, but it is an attempt, and that's really all I needed. Because, like, if you look at this isn't a whole lot more than just, doing a proper sketch. Although, of course, this is more detailed, which might be the issue for the Lee's fan art, I mean, obviously the skin color is a bit too orange. I didn't quite notice that yesterday, so we'll have to do something about it. But, if we just go a bit more into the red, and then we go a bit more into the white here, a bit more actually. Yeah. This is more what I want. Although I should have, put this below, honestly. So now I have to probably go in and delete all of that and put it on a separate layer. I hope I can still do that, because I really don't want to have to go over this whole thing again, correcting it all. I think I was too harsh on myself yesterday with what I wanted and should be able to achieve, And actually, wait. Let me take back some of that. What I mean is mostly this. I didn't trust myself enough, and I worried too much about the outcome, And I think that was the issue. I shouldn't, because I know I can do things, It's not like I'm some, mental asylum patient or something, And while I'm certainly not the greatest artist in existence, which would be very nice, but I'm not, So I will simply just attempt to rectify some of the issues here. So, like, obviously, I should be careful about where the joints are in the arm, because that kind of tripped me up yesterday, you know. So, yeah, I didn't do a proper sketch. I think that's mostly the issue here. I don't know why. I should make it more detailed. I should actually work on this to be a proper sketch, you know, where you can start to see the features and all that, you know. If I actually want to move past the sketch, I'd actually have to put out a proper sketch first. So, I don't know, I was kind of like expecting, okay, now that I have this very, very rough and vague sketch, I should just be able to, I don't know, conquer the world or something. I don't know. I don't know what was going on yesterday. It's a bit weird. Must have been the burned, or not burned, but the ruined rice, you know. It was definitely the ruined rice, because today I made rice again, you know, and it worked. It absolutely worked. So, you know, I don't know. That's probably it, I think. Okay. No, this is too much. Let's put in some. Yeah, let's have a look at the viewer, like so, and like so. Oh, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about the neck length here, and just the general attachment point of the neck to the head. So, yeah. Maybe more like this. More like this, maybe? I wonder why it's like snapping to things. I never turned that one on. So I'd like it not to do that, but apparently that's too much. Let me just drink something. The water was still kind of warm. Might have to go get another water later. You know, because like, you know, warm water is fine when you drink a tea. But it's like immediately gross when you're just drinking water. I don't know why. But at least to me, that's how it is, you know? That's sometimes how it is. Anyway, I've just recently gotten a bit more acquainted with the issues in Hololive and cover in general, like Holostars, everything, you know. Although it would be a bit of a stretch to say Hololive too. Anyway, I just watched Ruse's reaction to it, and I have to say I'm not sure if what I'm imagining is going on, but I personally would be able to just, you know, bear with it as long as he has. Like, apparently, I don't know how truthful it is, and obviously he can't say everything. because of NDAs and such, you know, so we do have to still treat it as a hearsay in a sense, you know, because unless we can get the proof and stuff. As much as I like the guy, you know, Ruse himself, I mean, you still have to be careful because, you know, the internet and such. Though I might just be being a bit overly cautious, but, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway. It's like a brownish, although I do see some black in there. This image is just so insanely well made. It's oh, you know, I don't know who the artist is. I should probably try and look up who made this image. But whoever it is, kudos. That's insane. I like this. I like it a lot. I want to be able to draw like this, you know? Not a one-to-one copy, of course, but, you know? I want to be able to do this. So maybe I should look at some examples and just try to study them. Do a master study of sorts. Though, you know, master study sounds nice and fine and all that, but I don't know if I would personally be doing anything else but just copying someone else. I don't know if I have the insight, you know? I don't know if I have the insight, knowledge, and self-reflection needed to actually be like, oh, so this is what this guy is doing. So these are his thoughts. Because essentially, if I understood this correctly, right, a master study isn't so much trying to perfectly copy someone's output, but it's trying to break down the method and understand what he thought, what the artist thought while drawing, you know, while making a painting or whatever it may be. Because more often than not, apparently, and although I should probably say something other than apparently, because it is more true than not. But well, it seems to be the case, or rather it is the case, that more so than a change in technique or a gain in knowledge necessarily furthers your skill in art. More often than not, it's adopting a different way of thinking about a subject, I should say. Like, there is this caveat, you know, it's not just being like, oh, I'll have to be more open-minded. No, it's a bit more specific than that, you know. If you can't get, like, behind the subject, if you can't understand what you're doing, trying to look at it from a different angle or trying to approach it in a different way. And that could include breaking down the forms in a different way, keeping in mind that they are three-dimensional, that the goal is to make it appear three-dimensional most of the time, not always, because there are art styles and uses where you don't want to do that, I would imagine, you know. But that's not what we're talking about anyway. So, I either now start, how should I say this, changing the brush, or I'll go over everything again and I'll just use this larger paintbrush. What is it called? It is textured tilt. So I'll probably start using the smaller thing for details. You know what? I'll just draw over it. This is a base layer. This is like a level 1 type of, how should I say, level 1 kind of sketch, you know? I'll need at least level 3. I don't know. Like, obviously I have to go into more detail, but I still need to be able to see all of the interesting stuff. Let me just put in a basic mid and so like a center line and like maybe the eyebrows. Maybe that's not prim and proper. Maybe something like this. I don't know, I'll have to change the head shape anyway to make it more aligned with Liz's head shape. Man, I could listen to her sing every day, or just talk, or not talk at all, you know? It's like she's one of the homies, essentially, you know? You just can hang with her, like, forever. I feel like, you know? I don't know how to say this. Actually, I do. Let me try and think. Let me try and think. So, essentially, it's whenever I've been like with female friends, so to say, you know, there is always this expectation in the air of like entertaining them. And very rarely that isn't the case. Usually with women that, you know, game themselves or have like a particular stake in whatever hobby you're doing where you meet them, you know? So it's like, say, for me, for example, it's like gaming, obviously, you know? I game. Occasionally, not very often, but occasionally you meet women, especially in games like Lethal Company. That was like a big, like, how should I say, chick magnet, I guess you could say. Like, it was an kind of like surreal experience. Not that the vast majority still, you know, weren't men. Wait, I think I said that incorrectly. It's not like the vast majority somehow stopped being men that, say, joined your lobbies or such. But there was like a significant uptick, you know, in female participation, you could say. But that also brought to light like a bunch of like these, how should I say this, COVID thoughts, essentially. You know the type, manipulative, self-serving women that only talk to men, you know, to get a benefit, usually of monetary value, out of them. Like, you could immediately tell if you've been around women before, that is, you know, who those kinds of women are. And usually you'd stay clear of that, right? But like, still, there was also, like, it was a general uptick of female participation, not just those types, obviously. But that seems to be a larger portion. So let's say if this is 100%, like a pie chart, essentially 100% of participants, right? Something like this is men, right? So actually, let me do this. This is men, and then you have something like, I don't know, something like this maybe. So you'd have, say, 98% men, and then you have like what, 11% would be 100, right? Yes. So you have something like 9% ethos essentially, and if you're lucky, on a good day, you have 2%. You have 9% ethos, and like 2%. What's this, like, what would you call this? A female gamer, like actual, like, how do you say this? Like actual, like proper females, essentially. I don't know how to say this. Actual female gamers. Like, these are just regular people, regular women in this sense, you know. Although, if you're gaming, are you regular, normal, and all that, you know? Anyway, it's a pretty big deal nowadays anyway, so. But you'd have, let me write this on top of here. Where's it? This is Lethal Company. Like the friend slop, quote unquote. Although I have never played any of those games before, and I think Lethal Company made them popular, unironically. Like, not necessarily the friend slop genre, more so the, I don't know, I almost want to say like social co-op game, you know, because Lethal Company is difficult enough on certain planets, right? And in certain scenarios, modifiers and such, you know, challenge moons and whatever, where playing with less than your maximum crew amount isn't only suboptimal, it will actively hinder you from winning. But also on certain other moons, for example, and given its roguelike nature, it is easy enough for practically anyone to start playing the game, get into it, and if they are annoyed by their teammates, either just, you know, as someone might, leave the game lobby, or just play by themselves with the other people still in the lobby, you know. So like, you can just detach yourself and essentially not be found. So if you're bothered by other people, but you still want the benefit of having more than just yourself, that's also a valid strategy. Not on all moons, not with all modifiers, obviously, you know. Sometimes RNG, of course, will help you, but anyway. Why did I bring this up? Ah, right, we were talking about Liz. Right. She's one of those types of women, for obvious reasons. I'm sure you have already noticed that. Where you can just hang out with her, like, endlessly. Unironically, for, like, however many hours you would hang with your actual friends, you know? With your male friends. Say you're a gaming group, you play all sorts of video games. Sometimes you just don't feel like playing any of them, right? Also happens. And you just hang and just talk. Whatever. You play a game that you can only play single player, for example. Your other friends do the same. And you just talk. Or do the... I don't know, with my friend group, I do this like commentary thing, almost like we are streaming, but we aren't. where we just talk about what we're doing. Pretty funny. It's like, yeah, as if we were actively streaming to an audience, but nobody can see us play. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, you know, there isn't this pressure to entertain, and oftentimes you just say things that are completely out of pocket just to try and get a reaction or be funny or whatever, you know. It doesn't really matter. Nobody cares if it's like actually funny. That's the space where you would make the worst type of fucking joke imaginable and still get some laughs. You know, like, I don't know what the word would be for that in English, but like jokes that aren't really funny, but because they are so incredibly unfunny, there's like a certain type of humor in it. I don't know how to describe this. In German, there's like a word for it. It would essentially mean like flat jokes, you know, like instead of trying, say, to tell a mini story like a lot of comedians would, right? You build up the story, then you get to your what's it called, highlight, to your like to the climax essentially of the joke. Everyone laughs, and then you move on to the next joke, right? But these jokes are specifically designed not to do that, so they don't have a story arc. They're usually something like do you know, or what do you call, those kinds of things, you know. Right? Those kinds of jokes. Anyway, I don't know why I brought this up. Why did I even think about that? Ah, yes, I think I just said that I could listen to Liz sing all day long, or not sing, or like just be existing like in the same like voice chat in a sense, you know. Like, I think she's that type of person, and I think Shiori too, though they both kind of seem like gremlins, like Elizabeth, you know, and Shiori. They're almost a similar flavor of gremlin, but not quite, I feel like, you know. I would say though that both like trolling. Shiori a lot more so than Elizabeth, I think. You know? Honestly, I believe that to be the case. I don't know though, you know, I'm not like secretly in their DMs or something, you know? Or like don't have them friended on Discord. Not only because I don't have Discord. Man, I wish like TeamSpeak 3 didn't die as it did. Also, this is tilting me. This head is like severely tilting me. Okay, well, let's look at a little bit of Liz here. Unfortunately, I don't know the name of this artist. I get all of these images just from Pinterest. So, if you happen to know it, I'd like to append it somewhere. Would be nice, because like this type of work is like incredible, you know? Look at this. The texture in this render. The line art. The colors. I like how, despite this looking like incredibly accurate, I should say, you know, you can still see some of the artifacts of like a human drawing this. Or at least it appears to be that way. I don't know. I might be gassing up an AI instead, actually, and I don't know it. I hope not. I hope a very nice artist made this. You know? Yeah, because I think there would be an issue right here. Like, this is low resolution enough to where the AI would make severe mistakes, I think. You know? I also like the eyes. Obviously, this is not the the full resolution because nobody can draw eyes like this from, I don't know, just way too far away. This is obviously ripped from somewhere. I just wish I knew from where. I hope I saved the art piece on Pinterest. Maybe I just didn't read the title of the post or something. Okay, so this is obviously a simpler one. This looks like the 3D model actually, but I wasn't quite sure when I downloaded it. It's a bit weird. It does look 2D. Maybe that's the official actually. Is it? Might be. Or I'm just blind. I don't know. This just looks glorious. Like, Jesus, look at this. Look at these lines. Look at this light. Look at these colors. Look at the shimmer in the eye. I could look at this all day. This is such amazing art, man. I want to draw like this. This is motivating me a lot more than I thought it would, but I feel like sometimes I like to watch other people do art more than doing art myself. It's a weird thing. Oh yeah, I definitely have to get new water. Sorry, let me just go do that. Then I'll kind of think about this head, because this is horrible. Disgusting. I'm about to fucking like vomit or something. I don't know. It's just not. No, it's not good. Oops, it's a bit too large. Maybe we'll do something like this in terms of like thickness. Maybe slightly smaller. Anyway, I'll be right back. I should do like a getting water intermission screen. I've kind of been thinking about doing all these things, you know, making the streams look nicer. So yeah, one of these days I'll probably do it. Give me a moment. I'll just get some new water. I'll be right back with you. Okay. Anyway, I hope this is not too quiet. It kind of looks like background music might be a bit too loud here on the mixer. Give me a second. Check this out. Yeah, I'll go ahead and reduce. Ooh, I'm so sorry about that one. Oh, oh no. I'm so sorry. I hope you didn't die from that. Oh no, this was not my intention. It was quite the opposite. It's just that I'm like minus decibel, you know, minus like 50 decibels actually. And I can't make this work without clicking on the slider. And I just accidentally clicked on the very top. So sorry about that one. That was not my intention. Fuck, okay. So sorry. Fucking hell. Anyway. 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 But what we were talking about, right? The difference in troll, like there's the difference in like approach. Like I think both Liz, as I said, you know, both Liz and Chiori enjoy trolling. I think, honestly, unironically, if she had gotten here a bit earlier to meet like Vesper and Magni, right? I think that could have been one hell of an amazing like collab, you know, together with Crony and like Callie, maybe Axel too, or like what's his name? Um, Kobo's brother. Like what's his name? I can't remember his name. Something with A, I think, right? Something with A. But what? Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember his name. That sucks. Well, yeah, Kobo's brother, basically. Anyway, happens, I guess. When you get rid of the head, this is distracting me immensely. So I think personally, the difference in their like trolling would be Shiori is proactive. So she creates the situations where she can troll, you know? Like being annoying, like cheeky little shit essentially on purpose to get like a reaction out of the guys, you know? And then push that initial reaction of one of her troll victims, right? Into say like with the Thief collab, like the what's it called, Crime Simulator, I think, with Beto and Flayon, right? Flayon, Beto, Shiori, right? Like in that case, that's Shiori's kind of trolling, obviously. Now, if I have to think about Liz, though, while she doesn't really let a chance to troll slip away if she can help it, right? I don't think she's as proactive. I don't think she is as proactive in her trolling attempts. And when she does, I think she's a bit more awkward. Or she would be, you know? Maybe I'm just thinking too much. Because I have to be honest, like, I'm not watching that many of the Hololive members anymore. Or any cover talents, really. I just don't find the time to, unfortunately. So, you know. And I don't remember all of the streams I watched anyway. Like, can you imagine? I did not catch Elizabeth's what's it called, VRRP stuff, you know, with her character. I couldn't. I just couldn't. And when I finally realized what was going on, you know, I decided not to rewatch the VODs. It's just too much, you know. It was just too much. So that would have been a gold mine, you know. Because whenever you RP to make it easier for yourself, you know, you should try and focus on a thing about yourself to exaggerate. Not always, doesn't work in all roles, obviously. Sometimes you have to play someone who you aren't, you know. But when you can choose freely and you have to do it for a long time, it's usually best to go for characteristics that are similar, not the same as yours, or you exaggerate something that's good about yourself or bad about yourself, something you can play into that isn't too far from who you are. Because otherwise you end up, you know, if you do that too often, you end up becoming like the Hollywood stars, really, you know. And so it's kind of, yeah. So that kind of like then gives birth to the whole issue of always RPing the same character, same accents, same like temperament, you know, that kind of deal, because the amateurs or those starting out either choose not to, as I think you should, you know, you should choose not to try and become someone else fully, or they just simply don't know, you know, how different some Hollywood actors actually are to their true personality. It's like, why is there a fly again? Jeffrey's back. Guys, I can't believe it. Jeffrey's great-great-grandson is back here with us. Well, how long do flies live? I don't know. I'm sure Jeffrey sent them, although he didn't really ever escape the house, I don't think. Anyway, I kind of want to make her look sternly here. Just talking out of my ass though, so, you know. I haven't done too much RP myself, although, you know, not as much as, was it Nerissa? I think it was Nerissa. Not as much as Nerissa. Yeah, but I'm kind of like a theater kid through how I grew up, you know. Not so much through my later education, but through the church, essentially. You know, theater kid through church. It's kind of funny, but yeah, essentially that. So, yeah, there's some experience, but I'd imagine a lot less than what Liz did. Liz has done thus far, and Nerissa, you know. So, anyway, let me try and figure out how to make this work, because I kind of feel like I have forgotten how to draw anything. Like, how large is this head? Okay. Ah. What? Oh. Oh, okay. There we go. So something like this, maybe? Anyway, just wanted to say I didn't catch Liz's streams. Wish I could have, but you know, can't get everything, unfortunately. Can't have everything. This fly, Jeffrey 2.0, is incredibly tilting me right now. Constantly flying past my screen. Anyway, at least the water is nice and cool, so not too much of an issue here. In that regard, at least. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm forgetting how to do most things here. Jeffrey, come on, please, calm down. Sit down somewhere, watch, but stop flying around in my face, please. That's annoying. Stop it. Stop. Stop it. Big question mark. What's going on here? I don't know. I feel like I can't draw anything anymore. God damn. Maybe I should do some warm-ups, huh? Draw some heads. I feel like I completely forgot how to draw heads. And it's like hindering me. So let's just save this. It's a bit loud. So, let's go to warm-up. And just try and draw some heads. Because it's, as I know, I can draw them, but sometimes apparently I can't. Also, this seems a bit too large. Yes. Okay. This might actually be a contributing factor now. So, how would we draw Liz's face? Something like... Okay, this is too much. Something like this, maybe. I should just, you know, stay cool, take it easy. Not force too much, because broad strokes, try to not use your wrist too much if you can, at least your elbow. If you can, of course, always use your shoulder to draw, you know, so that these motions here, you know, don't originate from the wrist. I don't know why it's happening that there's like this thing going on at Jeffrey. Come on, go away. Thanks, Jeffrey. My name's Jeff. Jeffrey the fly. Alright. I could use this as an indicator for the side of the head immediately, no? How would we draw Liz? I haven't looked at her eyes too much, actually. So let me pull up some reference for this warm-up. Pinterest.com. Elizabeth Rose Blood and Flame. Blood and Flame. I wonder how much influence they have over their character's lore. Be interested in knowing that one. I would imagine, if she had the choice to, I would imagine Liz did a lot of the blood flame lore herself, honestly, with some input from perhaps a writer. Maybe they have like a writer they frequent to ask questions and help them out with a lot of that, you know, art. Okay, let's look for Elizabeth Rose Blood Flame. Mostly want to just have a look at her eyes. Just the shape. Something official would be nice. Isn't there like, let me see, Hololive. Come on, Jeffrey. Fuck off. Oh, it's hololiveproduction.com, not hololive.com. It's kind of... Anyway. Talents. Hololive English. Let's see if we can get some justice, please. English Justice. Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. Let's have a look at some of her official art here. Oh yes, okay, so these are literally her official images ripped, basically, and put onto Pinterest for some odd reason. Serendipity. Okay, it's a pretty straightforward almond shape, like the classical anime eyes, essentially. Yep, bog standard in that sense, you know. Which there's a reason why it is standard, because it's appealing to a lot of people, right? If that weren't the case, they wouldn't be standard. Not, you know, when you could make them more appealing, right? So, okay, so this was actually official Hololive production. Okay, so what I mean almond shape, it's actually, let me get the a rough center line here first, and then actually this might be a bit too much. Something like this, maybe. Jeffrey, come on. Fuck off. Leave me alone and my water too. Go home. Go somewhere I don't have to see you. Nice water. So, how do we do this? I really want to think about the 3D aspect of this. But I should probably break down the eye a bit more, huh? So, like, if you look at the eye, right? You look at it from the front, you could say there are two planes, or there's one plane that's looking directly at us, the viewer. And then you have these things happening around it, right? Now, what to keep in mind about these lines on the side is that they wrap around the eyeball. So this length here, right? This length, this line, is essentially the vast majority of what you would be looking at from the front. So, like, yes. Anyway, that might be a bit too much, because I don't want to go into semi-realism. Let me see. So she has kind of these eyes, though I'm not particularly good at drawing them, unfortunately. Not that I would be better at some other eyes, but you know. You know what I mean. Should have probably started out trying to draw just a few sketches of something that kind of resembles Lear's, instead of immediately jumping into fan art, you know? Hmm. Okay, let me sit down here for a bit and get, where is it? All right. Projects, art, drawings, reference, characters, temporary. And I want, this is not helpful. Let me just take the official Hololive art for a little bit. Wait, I didn't want to include it like so. Let me do it like a reference image. Yep, perfect. Someone definitely just went in and was like, okay, copy. Like Windows snap or something, you know? And just went in. That's how we do it now. All right. I think I've seen a turnaround of Lear's, but I haven't quite looked at any of her facial features. You know, I was inspecting some other more convincing argument. No, but just I think I was looking for some other art. So let me see. Actually, there it is. There it is, the turnaround. Yes, yes. Open link, new tab. Elizabeth. Elizabeth. That's some interesting art right there. Man. I just can't stop watching. Anyway, let me look. Mephisto0216. I think that's a like actual artist, no? Like an actual official artist. No? I think that to be the case. Yes. Can I look at the art, please? I just want to look. It's a pretty small image, you know? Oh man, I wish I could look. Oh man. Man. Everyone can draw better than me. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, shit, I clicked on something to play, but didn't start playing anything on Pinterest here. What the hell is this? What the fuck is going on? Oh, okay, now I get it. Okay. What the hell? Anyway. Hmm. This isn't exactly helpful. That's a very nice pose, though. Okay, we save that. Go away. You go away. Nothing extraordinary in terms of the nose either. Pretty standard, you know? Pretty standard. Very nice art style, though, still. Will I ever be able to draw like this? I can't imagine. But I shall work towards being able to imagine it. Because, like, I feel like I have gotten very far already. You know? To where I once was. So she has very big eyes, actually. More like this, actually. Probably should make them slightly larger on this side. But now that I've heard all the stuff I did from Ruse, you know, concerning Hollow Stars, I'm kind of like, if you add that together with what some of the graduates, fucking Jeffrey, yeah, almost flying into my mouth. What the hell is happening? What the fuck? That was disgusting. What the fuck? What was I saying? Yes, well, whatever. Not that important. My opinion must be heard by everyone, you know. Anyway, fucking Jeffrey. Fucking hell. I take it as a sign to not talk about it. I'm feeling like super dumb right now. Like, unironically. Fuck me. Impossible. This is like actually impossible. How am I this bad at drawing? How can I not even... I'm not giving these eyes enough bend. I should watch more Crony. again if I have the time to. I'm kind of feeling like the hype is dying out, you know? Like for me personally, on a lot of things. Like I first noticed that in gaming, you know, I just don't buy any games anymore. I just don't. Most of them aren't appealing to me. And those that are somehow always manage to get destroyed by the same type of people. Last game that I had really high hopes for was Baldur's Gate 3 because of the first and second entry to the trilogy, you know. Well, unfounded hype, unfortunately. Like, I personally don't understand how Kiara can like the game so much. I just don't get it. And, like, at least not the current version. Current version or the release version, absolute dog shit. Unironically, I wouldn't want to play this game ever. Like, I did, but ever again, rather, is what I should say. Like, it has no replay value in my mind, like none whatsoever. Because all of the characters just want to be with you, you know? Aggressively. Like, they are all aggressively player sexual in a way, you know? They don't have any particular interesting, unique storylines or branching in the overall story to where following any of the characters' backstory would give you like an advantage or a different ending or anything like that, you know? At least that was the case when it came out, you know? When it was fully done. Like, I still can't believe people fell for that shit so hard. You know, for the guerrilla type like marketing where they were like, ooh, every other developer can't believe how much quality there is in this game. Ooh, look at how outside they are of the current like gaming paradigm of the AAA studios. And then the obviously fake like outrage around it is from the developers. Like, I mean, what the hell? If they had done something truly revolutionary, perhaps I would have understood. But the original devs of the game got fired and replaced by a bunch of like hacks that didn't know how to finish the game and didn't care to. You know? Man, I hate video gamings sometimes. But it's been a long time anyway, so not really mad about it anymore. Only insofar as some other person is like, oh, it's the greatest game. No, it's not. It's not. You want a great game? Play the first two Baldur's Gate you know, entries. Those are actually fun. You know? Or go play Fallout 1 or 2. That's actually fun. And it's well made. The story is amazing. The characters are fun. You know? They make sense in the universe. But anyway, how I'm not able to draw a simple eye is beyond me. Like, what am I doing here? What the hell is happening? Am I thinking about it too much? Am I thinking too much about this in 3D? Should I just be like, done? Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Maybe? Hmm. Maybe. Maybe. Damn. Goes to show how bad I actually am, huh? Maybe I'm just drawing it all too small. Because the eyeballs are actually, like, just the iris itself is pretty large. Right? So maybe that's the issue. Maybe just slowing down a little bit could also help. Hmm. I mean, I could do it with Shiori's eyes, but I think I also chose a different type of approach and I used a different brush. So I was more aiming at like a scratchy, how should I say this? Almost horror-esque vibe. Like how some of the character faces are drawn in anime when they are in utter shock, you know? That kind of style. I don't know what to call it. I'm not like some expert in these things, unfortunately. Maybe I should become one. But I think I did that with size flow brush, right? With this one. Okay, I can see. I can tell why I would be able to draw eyes with this a bit better. Yeah, I see. Okay. Maybe different brushes for different purposes, huh? Right here. Right here is where Jeffrey is. Jeffrey. Please, Jeffrey. Go away. There we go. Jeffrey went home. Or not. Maybe my home is his home now. Sayo. What's the it's our home. That's the meme, right? It's our insert thing. Right. Okay, I can understand why I'd be able to draw eyes a little bit better with this brush. So let's try it. Let's see. You know, maybe I'm trying too much with a singular brush. Maybe I need the change to think differently, you know? Because it looks different. Therefore, maybe. Maybe. Hmm. I'm thinking too much and I'm doing too little. Look at this. I'm deleting everything all the time. Man. There it is. maybe... I should try something like this, maybe. Make it a bit smaller. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I should definitely pull down the chair, the desk. The desk a bit more. Jeffrey, come on. I know you are here. Go away. Maybe he's mad that he can't go outside because he can't find the way past the window or something. He's like, I'm trying, but I can't. Ouch. Elbow hurt. Elbow hurt. Ouch, ouch. Ow. I don't know why my elbow is hurting so much all of a sudden. Ouch. Hmm. Can I make this look like her? Unlikely, but we will try. Give her a shorter face, slightly. Kind of want to give her a rounder face too. Ouch. Hmm. Horrible. Who draws eyes like that? It's terrible, terrible, terrible. Hmm. 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 Can I find lightness in this? I don't know. Maybe. Likely not, though. Hmm. 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 Although I'm using her as reference, this is hardly looking like her. Despite the eyes and the hair being the most giving or telling feature. How come? Her eyes are more almond shaped. Mine are a bit too straight in some sections, I think. They should bend a bit more. Yeah. Hmm. Wait. I'm thinking about it. Hmm. This is hardly looking like her. What the hell am I doing? What the hell? Oh man. Let me turn on the light here. Hmm. 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 I don't. This is. I'm making it worse by the second. You know? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I have to actually stand up because my leg is falling asleep. Hmm. Hmm. I should probably. Oh, why am I so tired? Hmm. Should probably try and find some more Lee's art for her eyes, you know? Probably try and trace them a bit just to get a feel for this because I can't make sense of it just looking at it. I don't know, I'm kind of dumb like that apparently. Man. Hmm. 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 How to do it, where to go. Elizabeth, Elizabeth, Rosen, Bloodflame. Maybe I'm taking it too seriously. Like last time I tried to draw Shiori, right? I felt like at the moment that I, you know, got the balance to work in her face, I was like, huh, I guess I was trying too hard. So maybe that's the case here again. I don't know what aspect I'm like over focusing on though, like, you know. Hmm. What was I saying? Right. I think I was trying too hard. Hmm. But what am I perhaps trying too hard? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe everything. This is looking very terrible. Very terrible indeed. Like a flag, you know, a hoge, like the small triangular flags that you sometimes would see on like pretty high watchtowers. This kind of deal, specifically like from something like Crusader, like Stronghold Crusaders, I mean. You know, they had these decorative flags in all sorts of sizes, you know. They had like these big square shaped ones. They had these super small, super thin ones, you know. Kind of looking like that. Her hair is kind of looking like one of those very small flags, you know. I'm feeling like making her head too round. Yes. If I look at this, the eyes don't look like they are inside the head. If that makes any sense. So much terrible, terrible stuff. And besides, why am I trying to draw her like this before? Just drawing her. What am I doing here? What is the point of this? Hmm. I have to keep in mind that this is all inside the skull. Maybe I was just lucky, you know? Hmm. Hmm. This is looking so bad. And I can't quite understand why. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I'm doing too little. I can't tell. I guess I'll keep trying until it makes sense, but at what point does it make sense? Hmm. I mean, it's kind of starting to look more kind of like a proper, like, anime face, I guess you could say. But I'm still feeling like I'm missing some important things that would make it look like Liz's face, no? Whoops. Hmm. 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 What am I doing? Hmm. Now, of course, the hair doesn't fit at all. Whoops. Not even a slight bit, you know. Guess I could try with the Hoagie. Hoagie. Hmm. I wonder how much modern women, especially the younger ones, you know, are kind of like gay by necessity, or because they truly believe that, you know. I don't know why I came up with that, but you know, kind of like a thought that just came to mind. Hmm. This is looking mighty bad, and it's taking me way too long. This is like insane. Anyway, gonna be right back. Give me a moment. This is looking so bad. Horrible. Please do not observe. Terrible, terrible. Okay, I think I know what the issue really is here. And that is my speed. Honestly, I think it's the speed. So, like, the less time I give my brain to think of things and ways to fuck everything up, I think the better it is. Though, of course, the very first thing I try and draw is not gonna adhere to that general rule, because that would be too convenient. And I started incorrectly anyway, so. So let's just do something like this. Honestly, this might. I believe that to be the case. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just missing the texture. Let me just. Whoops. Always the same. What's it called? Not a fork, the other thing you eat soup with. Yeah, English. Let me just try and actually draw on a piece of paper. You know, because I kind of feel like. Yeah. It's very different on a piece of paper, if I'm being honest. Like, sometimes I'm confused. Like, am I even learning anything by taking my time? Because maybe I'm actually not. Because if I get the better result, like 15 seconds of just putting down the most basic symbols, you know, you'd come across in a face, eyes, nose. Because I'm not drawing them accurately, and I'm not thinking too much about the 3 dimensions I'm trying to represent with these forms, right? If I get a better result in 15 seconds and a worse result in 2 hours or 1 hour, however long, what am I doing? Like, actually, though I do have to say I haven't drawn much faces, if we are being honest, right? Like, the only face really I drew was Shiori's in week 2. Why did that rhyme? Anyway. It is what it is. But still, I kind of. Hmm. Honestly, I'm not too sure about these. Not so certain about it. Like, I'm trying, but it just kind of seems like from one day to the other, I'm forgetting things that I should be able to do already. And then on other days, while talking about random ass things, not really paying attention to what I'm drawing, just, you know, I manage to draw things. I'm like baffled by myself, you know? It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Though, yeah, okay, let's move. Let's keep this going. Was it practice week 7? I think it was, right? Yes, principles 1 and 2. Right, like this, for example. It's a pretty decent eye. Pretty decent eye. I can't say it isn't, because it is. Of course, it has the shadow in it, you know, in there. But still, could be a lot worse. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea why my skills, like, why they are so unstable, essentially. I have no idea. Like, it's not like I can't draw, but it's not like I can either. It's like weird. I'm like in a very weird position right now. Because, like, you'd think if you can draw a sketch like this, right? You have some sort of skill. And while this isn't the greatest sketch in all of existence, and it's just a front view, it's like, still, you'd think you have some skills, you know? But apparently I don't. I'm so confused sometimes. I'm so confused. And while this was mostly traced, you know, it, like, could be a lot worse too. Like, a lot. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Even though I just went away, I finished my glass of water. So let me go ahead, get some more water, and I'll be right back with you. Sorry, guys. I'm like, I guess my skills are about as stable as my personality, huh? I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass. All right, I'll be right back. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so, hmm. Okay, let's observe. What are my shoulders doing? Am I calm? Am I relaxed? Let me take a sip of my juice. Mm. Mm. Yes, yes. All right. Sip of the juice. Um, Received. Yes. Okay, let's. How would this look? This, we could just make this like pretty much a front on, you know, front facing face, basically. Hmm. It's kind of looking far apart, huh? Your eyes are far apart. Well, your parents are far apart. Guru. Unironically, unfortunately, and unironically. One of the best times in Hololive. You know? Back when Hololive English was like an afterthought. And management was pretty much still catching up to the demand of the market, you know, if that makes sense. Back in the day, I mean, it's half a decade, the debut, right? More than half a decade now at this point, right? Like, what 16th of April? No, they debuted, I think, late 2020. Though still more than half a decade. This is insanity. 5 fucking years ago. Guys, I feel old. Oh, I feel old. And I can't draw. Time to give up. I guess. Time to give up. So bad. After all this time, I still can't draw. It's a sign. Oh, I know why it's looking weird. Because the eyes are way too far up. What am I doing here? What am I doing here, man? What am I doing here? Anyway. Eyes. Let me just clear all that. Oh. I was certain I clicked on this. Delete. Delete. I've been kind of like rewatching apothecary. Yes, that. You know, Shao Mao, Mao Mao, Chop Pow Pow, Pow Pow, Bum Chicka Wow Wow. You know, with her. And yeah, I can see you. There you go. This is so terrible, incredibly terrible. The hell am I hearing? The fuck? Guys, I hear the bombs falling, I think. The bombs are falling! Anyway. I guess I shouldn't joke too much about that, huh? Or maybe right now is the perfect chance for that? I don't know. All the things going on. You know? I have to sit down a little bit here. Yeah, I'm just sitting down. Actually, let me close the window. I don't want too many things making a campsite out of my room. Too many insects here. Because there's quite a few around, you know? Usually, at least. Plus some bats. Le bat. El bato. You know. I don't know why I'm redrawing this all of a sudden now, but yeah. I mean, I guess I'm expecting to be more comfortable with a pen more so than a brush, you know, but I don't know. I don't know that yet. If I truly am. Okay, the desk is still a bit too high up. Let's see if angling the tablet helps. Maybe a little bit. At least the eyes kind of look normal enough. But like... will that be enough? I don't know. What would an angry Liz actually look like? I can't, like, whenever I see any of the girls be angry, it's more like so, like, I can't really imagine any of them being being angry to the point of, I don't know, wanting to hurt you, you know? It's just hard to believe. That's all. You know, it's like, can you take it, you know, can you take an angry hamster seriously? Like, unironically? Can you truly? Not really, I would say. Because it's just a hamster. What's the hamster gonna do? Like, kill itself? That's about the worst it could do. I don't know. It's kind of hard to imagine any of them girls been super angry. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that's kind of looking silly. Silly looking. Maybe we just give her a smile, you know? Maybe it's not a battle for life and death. So look at this. I can't even draw a proper curve. This is insane. I'm like stupid. Guys, this is insanity. Hmm. 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 What can I change about my approach to learning that would help me improve, like genuinely improve? I guess I could look for a mentor, buy access to a course or something along those lines, you know. Though, where is this? What is happening? Hmm. 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 Look at this. I can't. This is tilting me. This is actually genuinely tilting me. Look at these. I can't. Terrible. Ouch. Now my finger hurting. Ow. Hmm. I think honestly, I've started looking at the time more often than I should. The point of all of this was to not have to care about being fast. But recently, I've been like just looking a lot more at the clock, being like, okay, this should be a good time, you know? Instead of learning and having fun while doing it, you know? I feel like it started yesterday, honestly. That kind of change. And I don't like it. I don't want it either. You know? Hmm. Hmm. Let me get rid of all of this. Getting rid of all of this. Rid of all of that. This is good. Hmm. I don't know. Hmm. 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 I'm not too sure about this. Okay. We wouldn't probably see a whole lot of the hand here, since, well, you know. How would someone hold a sword like so? Like, actually. How would your grip change? Because I think it would. Would you just let the left hand essentially just hang on to the grip with like your thumb or something? Like a pretty loose grip? Or would you actually try to hold it tight with your left hand as well? Would you like change the grip in like a way where you would be like, say, this is the normal way to hold a sword, right? So the thumb is on this side, right? Normal way to hold a sword. Okay. Would you change your grip to effectively be in the reverse so that the thumb would be on this side? Whatever. Who cares? Right. So now would you try and hold it like this? Wait, actually, I put the things in the wrong way. This is right. Does this make more sense? Essentially, you're holding the sword like so. Would you then change the grip so that the thumb is on this side? Or do you keep it like so? Like specifically of the left hand, you know, the grip. Hmm. I don't know. I mean, we could make it go either way here. It's vague enough. Okay. Hmm. I mean, we could give her her own kind of like skirt back, I guess. Hmm. I wonder if the family of Spike's family ever finds out if Anya or that Anya has like mind reading powers, you know? Because I feel like they're like, especially Lloyd, it's kind of pretty close to figuring out your secret, I think. Though, of course, they could do some stupid stuff to kind of like deny him that knowledge for a bit longer. It's kind of funny that he got suspicious a bunch of times, never truly tried to dig in her background a bit more. Like, it can't have been that difficult to figure out, no? That she's a assassin, essentially. Assassini. Hmm. 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 I wonder what line is further up and what line is further down. Hmm. Like, is it this elbow line or this elbow line that's higher up, than the other? Hmm. difficult to say. Maybe there isn't like a specific rule for it. I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like getting ahead here a bit. So I don't know. It's hard to say. And also, I want to elbow a bit further up actually. I don't know why. Yeah. Just want it further up a little bit. How to draw boobs? Like actually. Like, I mean, I've seen a few like like balloon drawings kind of deal, you know. But still. I don't know. I haven't really ever tried, I don't think. I mean, if we just... Is there like any particular rule about this? Like, I think in terms of anatomy, let me see. Let's see. See if I can find anything. Structure, breast anatomy. I feel like they are at the bottom end of the... What's the muscle called? The chest muscle. The pecs. Yes. Pectoral. Yeah. Bum. Okay, so if I can draw in the pecs, which I can't because I should really... You know what, guys? You know what? Anatomy studies. I need to start breaking down the human form a lot more. And also, this torso is way too large. Way too large, or rib cage, or whatever this is supposed to be. Look, way too large, no? No? I think so. Maybe not. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm not stupid. Like, let me see. Like, hips. Right here. Stomach. Right. So from here to basically here. The rib cage basically ends just below the boobs, no? I think so. Like just right here. It's where the rib cage usually ends. Then we have the stomach, which isn't really that long, but apparently that's how I drew it, so. Major pectoralis. They're basically sitting against the form, right? Kind of figuring out where, to what extent, how and when. English. It's like, kind of feel like they do this kind of like form thing sometimes. That's what I kind of see, like a cross or like some sort of like holster. Is that English? Like where you put your guns in. You know, the classic like police detective holster. Sometimes with two, sometimes with one. You know. You know, this kind of deal. Ouch. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Where's my... There's my book. So, I want to keep in mind to either be faster or... Maybe I'm trying to get lost in like the trivial details too early. Details. What else? I'm obviously lacking technical knowledge. Landmarks. So I'm gonna go in and learn some landmarks, like anatomical landmarks. that are below the skin, you know, so I can orient myself. Orientate? Wait, what? English. So I can, uh, yes, find my way to specific uh, anatomical forms, I guess. Landmarks, like the really big muscle groups, you know, the really big muscle groups, the important ones, back muscles, you know, lats, pecs, glutes, you know, biceps, triceps. Like how do they look? Where do they attach to? Like just the you know, the important things. I don't have to learn everything, obviously not. We'll see with what I start. Maybe bones. I don't know. I've heard of a bunch of things where starting might make sense in anatomy. Some say just, you know, there's not much. You just study it. Just study it. Suck it up. Study it. Whatever. It's gonna be terrible anyway. You're gonna have a terrible time. Then people are like, well, you know, you don't actually have to learn too much about the muscles themselves. Learn about the bones. I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm ready to do some witch rituals and summon some sort of like outer god, if that means I can get better at drawing without imploding immediately, you know? Because that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. I'm about to implode. It's insanity. It's insanity. It's insanity. I still like the hair texture here. I do want to use this paintbrush. I like it a lot. But I don't know. Like the proportions are just off here. They're just off. So let me just fix that really quickly. Or try to fix it at least. We'll see if I can do anything about it. So I would say right here. Oh, this is the arm. Okay, it's the arm. All right, I was kind of like wondering what that was, that line. Maybe I should make it just a bit smaller, actually. Not too much, but a little bit. I haven't done much about clothing. Like, so the things I obviously have to look into are clothing. Like, this is my to-do list, basically. Not just nice things to remember or like keep in mind, rather, but like actual subjects I have to study. I think clothes would help me more right now. Honestly, I think I should start with clothes. Textiles, whatever. And then obviously anatomy. Interesting anatomical knowledge. Actually, I kind of. Does it make sense? Oh, come on. I didn't even click anything. What? So this is proper grid snapping. But this is also snapping to the grid. This is so confusing. Why do you do this? Can you like not, please? Just don't do it. That's all I'm asking of you. Simply don't. Simply don't do it. Funny. Funny. I mean, the arms stayed pretty much in the same location though. Which is also quite funny. The hair, not so much. Actually. Right. Hair. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. I see. I think I see. I see, I think. I think I see is what he said. Anyway, I'm gonna end here today. I don't think I learned a whole lot, honestly. But that might have been the case for the past few streams. I'll have to do some thinking. Perhaps I'll have to stop doing this truly, daily. As in today, tomorrow, the day after, 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 and the day after that. You know? Perhaps I should be not doing that. I don't know yet. It's all in the, a possibility. It's all in the, what do you say? I think the saying I'm trying to remember is German, so it wouldn't make much sense anyway. Yes, pretty sure. Anyway, despite everything, hope you learned something. If not, just that there are people worse than you. Perhaps that's a motivation. I don't know. It's pretty negative motivation, but perhaps it helps. I don't know. You never know. Try that. You'll see. I guess I can't get around, studying clothes and texture and anatomy. It is time, I believe. It is time. The time has come. Anyway, thanks for sticking to this till the end, or for just coming by. Either way, hope you learned something. Have a very rice, yes, have a very rice rest of your day. Very rice rest of your day. I'm gonna have a very rice rest of my day, I think, because my rice is very nice. I'm proud of that one. Anyway, take care of yourselves, those closest to you. I don't know. Give more than you take? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, you know what to do. I'll see you next time, most likely. Oh well. Anyway, I said everything important.